Oh god, we're already awkward.
Yeah, I'm gonna chug a little bit.
Mm-hmm. God. Bad call getting the spicy one to chug. Burns a
It's
little
super
bit.
spicy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just like, which is good for recording a podcast.
It's good to have a little tickle in the back of your throat when you're filming.
Not Corona, just a spicy marg. Hey guys!
Welcome back.
We are back and ready to go with some juicy topics today.
You're not lying. It's gonna be good. We're excited to tell you our stories.
Our secrets.
So we talked a little bit last time about how we were going to talk about our plastic surgery experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We've both been through it, both very different.
Yeah.
Different times in our lives, different procedures. I feel like looking at me, you'd never know.
Oh my god, no.
And
I didn't know, actually, this reminds me, even after we became friends, I had no idea.
And I'm going to get into that a little bit in my story because everyone says that, which I take as a compliment.
It's such a compliment. Literally, like, it looks, yeah, it just makes so much sense. I'm like, oh, okay, I just thought that you were blessed.
And she hasn't had hers that long, but I feel like you're going to get the same thing.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh, I thought you were just blessed in that area, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad with how it turned out, because it's not like, oh.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, before we start, I wanted to shout out my friend real quick.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get all the information correct. So, someone that I know through just being a pre-vet at UF, his name is Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey. He's like the nicest person of all time. Like,
Oh.
So I think we had posted something about like, oh, something is coming or whatever.
Yeah.
And he messaged me on Instagram. I was like, okay, I have to know. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
And he's so supportive. After we put out the first one, he was like, congratulations. Like, he's just the nicest person.
That's so sweet.
Which, I mean, will make sense when I tell you what he's even doing. So he actually started, I guess it's a business, a non-profit maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Bricks Busting Boredom. And so he collects like used Legos and donates it to kids in need, and I think like kids in the hospital and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He is nice.
He's so nice. So if you guys have any Legos that you want to get rid of, his Instagram is Bricks Busting Boredom.
We'll put that in the description.
Yeah.
And like just link it so you guys can go ahead and find it super easy.
And I should have pulled this up before, but I believe he has a website. I'm sure you can Google it.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Yeah, and just go on the Instagram at least, and you can message him probably on there and get all the details. But I want everyone to know about it. Coming up on the holidays, I'm sure the kids would really appreciate it. And
that is so sweet.
Isn't
I love
it?
that. Yeah.
So just a little holiday cheer.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you want to talk about with your week?
Oh my god, I do. It's like almost emotional, but I'm not gonna be that guy.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I'm really excited about it, and I'm gonna get all sappy for a hot second, but don't get used to it. So today, actually, on this very special day, today I graduated from therapy.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known ahead of time because I would have brought you like a cupcake.
No, it's okay. It actually kind of happened like, it kind of felt like a breakup.
Really?
Yeah.
A little
but like
sad?
like kind of sad because I've spent so many years with this woman and she knows me better than like anyone.
Yeah.
And so I've been in therapy for like 5 or 6 years or so, and obviously 2020 was hard for everyone, myself included, and I just like really wanted to take advantage of this shitty situation and just learn and like put myself through some work and all this fun stuff that maybe wasn't super fun at the time, but eventually we moved our sessions to, it was once a week, then it was every 2 weeks, then it was once a month.
They're weaning you off a little.
Yeah, and then today we had therapy, and the whole time, like, I gave her an update on everything that happened in the month, and I just kept saying, like, this is, like, things are good, and, like, and then it kind of felt like a mutual breakup, like, I was kind of like, I kind of think we're getting to the end of the road, and she's like, I thought about that before we even started our session, like, I think...
It's a huge compliment.
It is, yeah, I was like, so I'm not crazy?
You're mentally stable.
I
Congratulations.
am quite sane, I will say. And, and she's was just telling me, like, you've put in so much work, especially in this last month and in this whole year, and you've gone through a lot of things, and I'm like, you're in a pivotal moment in 27. I just turned 27. Shout out to being old.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, you're coming in hot.
Yeah.
She said 27 is a really big year, and that's when you're kind of more of an adult, even though I've been fighting it. And yeah, and we kind of like broke up, and I was like, this isn't goodbye forever. And she's like, no, like, everyone needs therapy, and like, I'm sure things will happen in life because that's life, and you'll come back, and that's great, but like, you don't need me right now. And I'm like,
which is great.
I don't need you right now.
It's great.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Congratulations.
Thanks. But I do highly recommend therapy to like anyone who needs it, who's thinking about it. Like, it was the best investment I've ever made, and I will be back. And yeah, everyone go get therapy.
Well, you've inspired me because, we've talked about your therapy stuff for a while. And so I brought up, right before we started this, about how I have just like a deathly fear of snakes.
Oh my god, yeah, okay.
So Paula has a deathly fear as well of roaches.
Oh, just talking about it.
I know. So we had dinner, and I brought it up, my fear, to her, because I was like, oh, like, she'll get it because, like, we have a fear. And she was just like...
Hers? Okay, yeah. So I do remember this conversation.
At Chili's, when you took me to Chili's.
Went to Chili's, we had a very nice date, and we talked about our phobias.
Yeah.
And the thing that really stuck out to me that I was like, okay, was that you say that you, like, think about it all the time.
Yeah.
I'll think about it, like, I'll walk into a room, and I'm like, hey, you know what?
Let's just scope this place out real quick.
There might be a roach. Let me just make sure there isn't, because I'll die. And then I carry on with my day. But you have, like, reoccurring...
And so when I went to go see my mom for Thanksgiving, she has a very similar phobia to roaches as you. Like, it's the same thing. So I brought it to her because my whole childhood, like, if there was one in the house, she would kill it. Like, to get close enough to kill it or whatever.
Snake or a roach?
A roach.
Oh, wow.
She's not scared of snakes.
Good for her.
But she would, like, everyone knew there was a roach because bloody murder screams. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, like, that's just what's going on in the kitchen or whatever. So I brought it to her, and I was, like, telling her about it. And she was, again, the same reaction as you. They're like, that's not
How do
normal.
we tell you that you're not sane?
She was like, I think you need to talk to someone. And so I told you the story of when I think that it, like, triggered in me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom raised me to not be afraid of snakes. Like, we were very, like, I guess, country people. I have distinct memories of my mom. She caught, like, this green snake out of the tree, and I petted it, and I wasn't scared at that point. And I was like, I don't know, Mom. I think, like, what triggered me is when me and my sister were playing, like, and you were gardening, and, like, there was this worm, and it broke in half. And she was like, no, that wasn't it. And I was like, what was it? And she was like, and I remember the story she's about to tell. But in my mind, I've always remembered it, but it was like almost like I thought it was a dream this whole time. And I never really thought, like, I remember it, but I was like, that didn't happen. I never actually thought it happened.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So she was like, so the road we used to live on used to be a dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
And across it used to be a railroad track.
Mm-hmm.
There was never actually a railroad track there since we've been there, but there was, like, a path, like, you'd find, like, stuff. So we'd go over there and like walk this trail that used to be a railroad track. And there was like the road, woods, railroad track. So I guess I was barefoot and I stepped on a snake. And I think it was a pretty big snake. And I remember it, but every time I remember it, I'm like, there's no way that happened. I mean, I was a kid, so of course I remember it as being like this huge thing.
Yeah.
And I remember like feeling it on my foot. Oh. I remember feeling it move. And she was like, you had a full-on meltdown panic attack, which I don't remember. And she said, right after that happened, you were outside and we had this little walkway around the side of the house and a snake just went by. And she said, I thought you were being murdered. Like, I don't remember this at all.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which I think would traumatize anyone.
Yes.
Especially as a kid stepping on a snake, but like anyone stepping on a snake. I also like can't enjoy time outside a lot of times because my backyard is fenced. Like the chances are there's not one.
Yeah.
But when we first moved in, I saw one and I haven't really been able to enjoy my time out there as much. Since then, that's been like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's clearly becoming like a serious thing.
Problem.
Yeah.
So I emailed my doctor today and I was like, hey, I need a referral for a mental health issue. So I'm talking to her tomorrow and then hopefully she'll refer me. But I also have to figure out, hopefully it's free for students, but...
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited just to hear what she has to say. Because like I'm interested in to see like what would be the cure for something like this.
Pass me all your notes.
Oh my gosh, I'm really scared. I'm scared though. I'm scared she's gonna be like, we're gonna have to meet and you're gonna have to hold a snake and then I'm just gonna have to delete her out of my life.
No, I'm not gonna let you, first of all. And if she does that, you should delete her because she's not a good one.
I hope that it's something she can say to fix it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think exposure therapy is like so drastic that it would
kill me.
I think it would be more traumatizing. I mean,
like you can imagine like
I literally just picked my feet up from the ground because I'm so
sweating.
I'm literally sweating.
I mean, it's a little hot in here, but also like I'm uncomfortable now.
Yay! First steps are so exciting.
I don't expect to ever like not be afraid of snakes, but I just don't want it to stop me from participating in day-to-day activities.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And it's just gotten worse.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
So my sister got a snake, and I was like, what?
Why?
So it was in like a aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with a lid on. It wasn't even a big one. Scary looking to me, but I recognize it's like not a scary looking snake. Mm-hmm. It was like one of those pretty like python looking things.
Oh yeah.
I think it was called like a ball python.
Oh.
So they have like pretty colors and like whatever. So I go to spend the night with her and I was just like, make sure that you don't get the snake out. And she's like, I would never. She's very protective of me. I know that she would never do it, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I still have to tell her to like,
just in case,
not take the snake out.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I would never do that. So in order for me to go take a shower, I had to pass the snake because it was like in her bedroom. And I just kind of like didn't look and, I was trying to just be like out of sight, out of mind. And I'm getting a shower and I am getting out and I'm getting ready to go out the door to the bedroom and like I can't. And I was like, I'm scared that even though I know she would never do this to me, my mind was telling me that she was gonna be on the other side of the door with the snake and like I don't even know.
This is a big deal.
And then I can't remember if I just went out or if I was like, hey, like I'm coming out, like there's no snake, and she was like, no, like I would never do that. So then like I go to sleep on the couch, obviously in a separate room, and like she wasn't in there, and I just start like hysterically crying. And she's like, what is going on? I was like, I'm so scared that you're gonna come here and throw the snake on me.
Oh my God.
And she was like, 1, I wouldn't do that to you, and 2, I wouldn't do that to my snake because like it would hurt it. And I was like, I can't, like, I know she would never do that.
Yeah, no.
She would never do that.
Never.
But like, in my head, I was like, what if? And
That's crazy.
And I couldn't. Yeah, it's actually crazy. And I could not relax enough.
The cool thing about this, though, is that your life is literally only going to get better.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'll let you guys know what my therapist says, I guess. I'm really interested to know. I mean...
Yeah, like what she's going to...
I wonder how often she gets that kind of thing. Like, I mean, phobias...
I don't think it's normal.
Okay.
You're the first person I've talked to that made me feel like my roach phobia is normal.
Oh, God.
Both sips drink.
That's not a good sign. So, hopefully I can get at least a normal phobia.
Yeah.
You know?
Normal would be great.
Normal would be great.
Can I tell you a quick roach story? Because it's hilarious.
Yes. I'm tired of talking about snakes.
My mom has a similar phobia. Maybe it's a mom thing.
Maybe. Because they're always probably the ones that have to kill it.
I can't have kids. I'm going to ruin my child. But, so she has a similar phobia. She's in her room doing whatever. I am getting ready, having a great morning. I look next to me and there is a fucking skateboard-sized roach. Skateboard. Like that thing, I could have ridden it to work.
We wear the same size shoe.
It was my size, human size, coming at me. Dying, like, you know, fucked up. But like, coming. And I was like, abort. I have a cat. And the whole purpose of me wanting to get a cat, other than I want a cat, is for it to kill such beasts.
They are trained to kill.
Yeah. However, I learned that day that I love my cat so much, my instinct was to protect my cat. So I grab my cat and I run. I just run with my cat, half makeup, not ready for work, and I save my cat. So I'm a good mom. And then I go to my mom and I'm like, hey, we gotta go kill this beast. And I see it. Like, I see that bitch just doing its thing. And my mom was like, what do you want me to do? Like, that is you. And I'm like, all right, well, I just need emotional support. Like, I can do this shit, but I need your support. And she's like, okay, well, let me finish something really quick and I'll help you. And I'm like, okay. The mature adult thing to do was to interrupt my dad's conference meeting, and I like open the door with my like sports bra on. I'm like,
family emergency happening right now.
Excuse yourself. And I was like, is now a good time? He's like, no. And I'm like,
obviously.
Okay, I just literally like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, I need you. And so he excuses himself. I'm like, listen, SOS, there is a ginormous roach in my bathroom and I need you to get rid of it. So he goes, he flushes it down the toilet. My mom, it comes out and she's just like, what the fuck is your dad doing here? He's supposed to be in a conference. And I'm just like, listen, family emergency. Yeah. I called this meeting for him to save our lives. In fact, I deserve an award for being smart.
Yeah.
And my mom turned to him and was like, was it big? Like, was it actually that big?
Oh, she never saw it.
No, God, no. She was fine.
She couldn't be bothered.
No, she was like, I'm going to go do something. You handle it. And my dad goes, it was pretty big. And that's when I knew that I wasn't crazy.
Oh.
So then I told my mom, I texted her, I was at work, and I'm like, hey, I need you to go to my bathroom every 30 minutes and just flush the toilet to make sure that that bitch is down in the dumps and just never gonna come back. So that's my irrational fear, but I will say I was able to go into my bathroom that same day and be fine.
That seems normal.
And I think that's the difference between me and you.
Well, I feel like we've talked enough.
Have we not gotten to the point?
Let's talk about some fun stuff.
Some surgery stuff. Some expensive shit.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, sure. Start us off.
My mom was not blessed. She was built more like me, just tall, you know, cylinder-like.
Model-esque. Let's be nice.
Breadstick, esque.
Okay, but who doesn't love a breadstick?
You're not wrong. So, she had her boobs done several years before, obviously, I did. So, I was dating this guy. He was quite a bit older than me. He was a troublemaker. I've told you some stories about him.
Yeah.
But I was 16 years old, and I had just, like, decided to end things And I was very depressed, as a 16-year-old is.
Well, your life is over now. So.
Oh, I literally thought it was. So I remember, my sister and I had a room upstairs, and my mom comes upstairs and she's just like, hey, do you want fake boobs?
And good for her. Amazing.
And I looked at her and I was like, yeah.
I mean,
like, I didn't even have to think about it.
What are you doing tomorrow?
But I also was like, is this real? Like, what's the catch? You know, whatever. And this was I believe, if my memory is correct, it was like right before junior year.
Okay.
Of high school. And
pivotal year.
Yeah, so it was right before school started that this great idea came up. And so
Question, have you guys talked about that before, or like?
I'm sure I had mentioned.
That's amazing.
I'm sure I had mentioned that I like. It was just one of my biggest insecurities, because if I'm skinny now, you cannot imagine how small I was in high school. I hope that you can tell in the photo, because I was planning on what I was gonna say about this today, and like, even the photos, like, I mean, because of just the year it was, like, I don't have great photos, you know?
Yeah.
It's all like really,
and
really,
there's like padded bras and all that.
There's tons of padded.
She's like, I know, I bought all of them.
So, I mean, I did. So the pictures that I have, you really can't tell. Just imagine just a flat surface.
So here's Amber.
Exactly. So all I wanted in life was to like fill out a V-neck shirt.
Yes.
Like, so bad. Or just
show it.
All I wanted was to like be able to wear a bikini top and like just something.
Not let it slide off as soon as water touched you.
And like I'm sure I was wearing the smallest size bras, but it still was like
has like
a huge gap.
Yeah.
A huge gap.
She's triggered already.
So no clothes fit me. I was kind of tall, and I was also really small, and like nothing fit. So I was having this problem with clothes, and like I was just like, if I could just fill out a shirt, you know,
my life would be solved.
Yeah, all of my problems would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom approaches me about this, and I'm just like, yeah. And like, she gets us started really quick. We go to the same doctor she went to. And, you know,
I love a good family plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
That's great.
He was so nice. And I remember the first time we went in, you know, it was just kind of like, you know, what are your expectations? Like, here's a book to look at some things. There's like different kinds of implants, different, you know, ways you can get it in there.
You do it yourself.
I didn't know anything about it, so I kind of just followed what my mom got.
Yeah.
He was just very nice. The second time, you know, I was nervous about it, but I had to take my shirt off, and he was just kind of like getting a plan together. And then, I mean, it was pretty quick after that. So in preparation for this, I didn't want anyone to know. Like, I wasn't doing it to be flashy about it. Mm-hmm. I was literally just doing it for me. I didn't want anything huge.
You were just hoping that someone one day would be like, oh my god, Amber has boobs, that's great. But like, naturally.
So that was what I was hoping would happen, because we were planning on it. So the plan started right before school started. And the surgery was going to, I think it might have been Thanksgiving break, or it was some kind of break that we planned it. So my plan was, I wasn't going to miss hardly any school. Like, no one's going to know I was gone. I was just going to come back, and people were like, oh. And so I went to Walmart and bought like these like cup insertions.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I started the school year with that, thinking like no one would know or notice at all. Well, that did not happen at all. So I only told my sister and like these, I'm pretty sure I was trying to keep it a secret. So I only told my sister and these two girls that I was close with.
And you're very discreet.
Yeah, like I would never have just gone around telling people. It wasn't something I was like necessarily proud of.
Yeah.
It was just something I wanted, but I didn't want anyone to know I had it. So the day of, we go in, I was not nervous at all because I was just so excited. And it was the first time and only time since that I've ever been put under anesthesia. Wasn't nervous at all. I was just ready to wake up and have boobs. So
that's what we all want.
Literally a dream come true. So we go in, obviously I change into like the gown and stuff. I remember telling my mom I get like on the surgical table, and I remember being in the surgery room because it was a private practice, so it was small, and they had like one surgical suite or whatever.
Yeah.
And the anesthesiologist is there, and everyone's being so nice, and he starts asking me as he's administering medication, you know, where do you go to school? Like, how old are you? And he's like, you know, I'm laying there. He's like, okay, I'm going to start counting it down from 100. You're going to get a little sleepy. Did not make it past 98. Wow. I was out. So when I woke up, but prior to this, I had asked my mom, I was like, hey, like, what did you feel like when you woke up? She said, I felt great. She said, I felt like I slept for 20 years, and I was the most rested I had ever been.
That's what I always hear. I'm like, wait. Do I want to get this?
That did not happen to me. I don't
know.
No? Is that how you felt? Well, we'll get to
that. I don't remember, honestly.
Oh. I remember it because I think they gave me maybe a little too much anesthesia. Oh. Because, oh my God, I did not want to wake up. Like, I even told the doctor, I was like, I can't wake up. Like,
you're like, I'm going to stay actually for another 24 hours.
This feeling stuck with me because it was really miserable. Because I was so tired. It was miserably tired. I was just
my God.
Yeah.
You're the first person I've ever heard that.
I think they just overdid it a little bit. Or maybe just went quicker than they thought.
Yeah.
You know. But I remember I was in the bed, and I think I was just like in a hallway because it was a small area. The doctor was there, my mom was there, and I was just kind of like laying like this with my eyes closed, and he was just kind of like, hey, like it's time to get up.
You're like, no, it's fucking not.
And I was just like, I can't, like, I'm so, please just let me go back to sleep. I was like, please just let me go back to sleep. And he's like, no, like, you need to get up. And I was like,
he's like, I have plans.
I was like begging him. I was like, please let me go back to sleep for a little bit longer. Like, I was actually saying that. Like, no, you need to get up. So I, like, was waking up. I remember my throat hurt so bad. I was so thirsty because the tube they put down your throat for you to breathe. I was like, please give me something to drink. Just all these miseries. And so they brought me this little thing of ginger ale with a straw, and I was just trying to like slurp. I was so thirsty, but they had to like take it away because they were like, you're drinking it too fast.
They suck.
I don't remember how I got in the car. I mean, I remember getting up out of a wheelchair, but I don't remember how I got in the wheelchair. I'm sure someone picked me up and placed me in there. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. I get in the car, and pretty sure they hand me a paper bag, which I've thrown up in a paper bag before, and that doesn't work, just so you know. The acidity...
Pro tip.
The acidity of your... Coming from someone who's done it before, the acidity of your vomit will eat right through the bag before you even get done.
On airplanes, don't they give paper bags?
Well, isn't that to, like, breathe, like, if you're hyperventilating?
No, it's for when... Well, probably also, but... I'm going to cut this out.
Maybe it's a different kind.
I'm like 99% sure that they give you like a throw-up bag and it's a paper bag.
Well, when I've been to the hospital like with people that were like vomiting, and they gave them like a plastic cylinder bag to vomit in. I don't know.
We'll talk about vomit next time.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't throw up though.
Nice.
But I had like an hour ride home because.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
because it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no places like that. Well, there might be, but I don't know. We didn't go there.
Yeah, don't go there.
So it was like an hour ride home, which was miserable, as you can probably imagine.
So did you feel any pain when you got out?
I remember when I woke up just feeling like maybe like tight, because I was still feeling. I mean, I think I was feeling the anesthesia for a while, so I didn't feel anything.
What kind of implants did you get?
So I got saline implants.
Okay.
So they gave you the choice of saline or silicone. Apparently, like, so the saline is just kind of salty water.
Yeah.
And like if that were to bust in you, like, so she's. Did not expect that to come out of my mouth.
So proud of you.
So if that were to rupture,
to bust inside of you,
it's just salt water, so like it's no
So
big deal. But like
yeah.
I think the silicone can be a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to both, but anyway, that's what I went with. And then you can also choose, do you want it behind the muscle or in front of the muscle? I can't remember what the pros and cons were with that. I just remember I chose behind the muscle because he said it would look a little bit more natural because it's like behind the muscle.
Which it sure does.
So, anyway, so yeah, so I didn't get anything huge. He even, I remember him asking like, how big do you want? And at the time I was like, oh, like, you know, maybe like a C. And when we got out of surgery, he's like, you know, I was gonna go a little bit bigger, but you started to get stretch marks, so I stopped.
Good for him. That's
yeah,
great.
No stretch marks at all.
Wow.
So yeah, and then the next time I came, I just got the stitches out, and I actually like them now more than ever because like for a while, obviously, like everything was really tight and like up, and now I feel like even looking at them by themselves, like I think they look natural looking, like without a bra or anything. Like they're not like in my face.
It's like saying your balls dropped, but your boobs dropped.
I was saying the other day, I was like, I like them now more than like even when I first got them.
Well, so I think we were at Social actually. We were at a bar.
Oh, we were at Social.
Yeah. We were talking about something and it brought me back to the memory of you and that deep V, and I was like, she must have taped it up. Like there's no way. Because obviously the deep V was good. And then you told me, and you're like, not a lot of people know, but like, I have fake boobs. And that was a huge relief to me. And then I think we went to the bathroom and you showed us.
I don't remember.
I think you did. Either way.
But yeah, I mean.
Amazing work.
Everyone who has ever said anything, and that's how it like starts, they're like, you know, they look really nice.
They look so
and
nice.
I just feel like I have to, like, I always feel like I'm lying if I don't say, like, you know,
right.
I don't know. But I'm just like, oh yeah, like, where you think they were worth the money? And there's like, what? Like, I would never would have guessed. Just because I think the main thing is because like sometimes I do wear bras and stuff and I have them pushed up, but like the main thing is they're just not huge. I think that was I'm so happy. Like I'm like so happy he like did everything right. And he sent me flowers afterwards with like a get well soon thing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Just so nice, and I had a really great experience.
So what was like, did you have to do any like stretching or like massaging or anything like that?
No, I had to wear like just kind of a special bra for like the first week or two. Obviously no underwire.
Yeah.
It was like wrapped up for a while, so like I couldn't shower for like, I think it was just the first 3 days. But I remember, so you were asking me earlier, like, if I felt any pain. So the first day, I remember, like, after the anesthesia had worn off and everything, I got up to use the bathroom, and I was walking like this because they were so, I felt so heavy.
Felt heavy, yeah.
But I never had, like, my equilibrium was off. Like, I was like, I'd never had any weight on the front of me before, so I was like.
She was top heavy.
Yeah, I felt, that's how I felt, and I was like, is this how it's always going to be? Of course, now it's like, there's nothing there, but.
Of course.
Yeah, so that took me like 2 or 3 days to get used to. And then, there was quite a bit of pain. Like, I was on Percocets, so I mostly just slept for the recovery time. But my mom had to, like, I wasn't able to sit up by myself.
Right.
I couldn't put on shirts by myself. Because I was surprised, like, there's a lot that you're, like, chest muscles.
Yeah, you have a lot of chest muscles.
I couldn't buckle my seatbelt.
Right.
Like, anything you had to kind of, like, lift your arm for. Or, like I said, like, sit up or roll over. I couldn't do any of that.
For how long?
Not that long. I feel like the recovery was pretty quick. Like, the first week, the first 3 days were rough, but after that I was, like, up, moving, like, you know, once I was able to take that bra thing off, like, I was able to get a shower, and...
That first shower probably felt so nice.
Yeah. I had a really good experience, and, after that, the only other thing was my nerves connecting, which I don't know if you had a similar experience of feeling that at all. No. So and the doctor told me it would happen, but like where the incision is and stuff, like.
Do you still have scars at all?
Yeah, I do. I'll show you later. Yeah, that's the only thing. So you can choose to go through the armpit, through the nipple, or underneath, and I did underneath just because that's what my mom did. And if I had the chance now, I'd probably do the nipple because I heard that you can cover that scar up really well. It just kind of blends in, you know?
Oh.
But no one, even looking at me straight on, you wouldn't be able to see them at all.
You have to kind of
I would literally have to, if anyone saw it, it's because I showed you.
Right, yeah.
So it does not bother me at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so everything healed up really great, and yeah, just the nerve connecting. Probably like a year after we're still like connecting. It's just like it was painful, a little, nothing you can't handle, but it was like almost a little like zap, you know, electrical zap. Yeah. And
so do you have full feeling in
no.
your...
So that's another thing I meant to mention. I don't know how it is for everyone. But I have a lot of numbness still, and I assume I'll never. I mean, it's been 10 years. I'll never get it back. I've never had boobs before, so I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
And I would never let someone touch my flat chest beforehand. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't even think I ever took my shirt off for anyone because I was so self-conscious. But yeah, there's definitely, and it's not just in the scar area, like it's all, yeah, I mean, there's some places I can't tell if you're touching me at all. What? And then there's some places that I'm like, I know that you're touching me, but I don't know where.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That sucks, but amazing.
Right, so I don't know that it sucks, because I don't know what I'm...
You know what? It doesn't suck at all, it's fine.
It doesn't
That's how
bother me
everyone
at all.
feels.
And to me, I mean, it's a small price to pay, because I just...
Yeah.
It's hands down the best thing I've ever done. I think you said the same thing about yours.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed my whole outlook. It changed my confidence level.
I was going to say confidence, yeah.
Everything. So, yeah,
wow.
I want to hear about yours.
Okay, well, mine was done in July.
Yeah,
June
not that
or
long
July.
ago.
I don't know. Yeah, but I had a really, in my opinion, a really big, ugly nose.
I never, and I'm not just saying this, I never, even when I first met you, I never, like, looked at your nose. I never thought, like, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never, ever thought it was bad.
It's weird because even hearing that makes me uncomfortable. Like, so...
I know what you mean.
It's like, I just, so... My whole life, I got bullied for it.
Really?
So any mention of my nose is like a trigger for me.
I have parts of my body still that are, I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I think everyone does.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember in middle school, I would get bullied every single day. It was every single day at lunch.
Like
in
the
my
same
homeroom.
people?
Yeah, the same fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
I went on a date with that guy later. His name's Brandon. Shout out to you. I remember you. Okay, fuck Brandon.
My sister has a Brandon so far, and he's been...
You know what? Brandon's not good. If your name is Brandon, take a look in the mirror and think about what you've done to people. But, like, yeah, I would get bullied every single day. I remember there was one day in particular, I'm sitting at lunch with, and they were, like, my friends, you know, middle school. And I remember one day, lunch went by, and no one said anything. They used to call me Big Bird. And no one said anything. And I was like, oh my god, today's the day. Like, no one's gonna say, like, maybe they forgot to make fun of me. And then the bell rang or whatever, and it was time lunch was over. So I grabbed my lunch, I grabbed my little lunch bag, I get up from the table, and they're like, oh, see you later, Big Bird. And I was like, fuck.
I'm honestly, hearing that, I'm surprised you didn't do it sooner.
I know.
If it bothered, yeah.
I know. So it bothered me my entire life, and it would just come up even in high school and college. It would still come up, and like it was just like it was a thing for me.
People suck.
People suck, but that's fine.
Never comment on anyone's bodies.
Yeah,
please.
And I remember one of my boyfriends. We were at a bar, and he was like, you know, like I remember looking at your nose, and like I didn't think it was cute, but now I do. And I cried at the bar, which is humiliating, by the way. But I cried because it was like such a trigger for me.
And I was exactly
like,
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like.
But that was a really dick thing to say.
It was a dick thing to say.
Like, even if you thought like this doesn't bother her.
Mm-hmm. And like I understand what I think he was trying to say. I do.
Guess, but guys.
Yeah, guys are terrible with their words. But it just like it was this weird moment where it was a flood of all those memories back, and I started crying, and he's like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And
I guess he probably just didn't realize.
He had no idea the like baggage that came with it. And I remember I was on a walk with my parents. We were doing like a little loop around like whatever neighborhood, and I was like, guys, I'm gonna get a nose job during quarantine. And they're like,
perfect timing, honestly.
yeah,
like,
also,
God,
strategy-wise,
like, I feel like quarantine was made just for you.
If we're still in quarantine in any part of the world, go ahead and get that surgery.
Seriously, just do whatever you've been putting off for years.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And my parents were like, oh, okay, like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I've already started looking at prices, doctors, everything, and I just made up my mind. I'm like, why am I gonna sit here? I've told myself since I was a kid, since I was young, getting bullied, I said, when I have enough money, I am going to get my nose done. And it was quarantine. I was like, all right, let's fucking do this. So I went to one doctor. I didn't really like him because he kind of came in like halfway through the consultation was over, kind of like looked at my nose and was like, yeah, we'll fix it. But he didn't have like that one-on-one.
I feel like he also like did the bare minimum.
He did.
As far as like, here's what it's going to look like.
Yeah, so it basically looked like he took a photo of me and then went into like any free editing app.
Free.
And then like pinched my nose. It was like the ski slope nose and was like, this is what we'll do. And I'm like, part of me was excited because I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, so she sent me the picture and like I recognized what you're talking about now, but in the moment I was like, well, I mean, it's not actually going to look like that. He's just giving her an idea of what it would look like with a similar shape. But then when you went to the other one, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's a professional.
So I went to another one because I was like, I don't know. And,
which is so smart. I would have, honestly, I'm always just like, okay, this is it.
Well, that's where I kind of was. And my sister was like, just go somewhere else. Like, I feel like you're on the fence about things. Like, go somewhere else. Like, what's the problem?
Such a simple thing. I just never would have thought
it is. But I was also like, let's get this done yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So I went to this other doctor and he sat down. He took an hour and was like, and the funny thing is that both him and the previous doctor both mentioned that I had like a weak chin, and they're like, we recommend you get a chin implant. And I'm like, no.
Like, what? This wasn't on my radar at all.
Like, what else is wrong?
One insecurity at a time.
So I was like, do I have to worry about this? And so they both recommended it, but this doctor took like an hour and showed what the surgery is going to look like. Here's what will happen. Here's if you don't do the chin, what could happen. Your nose will end up looking bigger. Even if you get surgery, like it'll still appear bigger because it's not symmetrical with your face, all this stuff. So ultimately I decided on doctor number 2.
Winner.
And I agreed to get a chin implant. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so...
This is so funny because remember when you said I got 2 things done? Completely forgot she had her chin done. I thought you were talking about...
Oh, I also got my gums, like...
That's what I forgot you had that.
That is hilarious. My gums were
this
like...
This is a surprise.
Kind of... I'll get into the gums in another episode.
I didn't want to like ruin it, but I was like...
That is hilarious.
Wait, what? That's what she said. Oh yeah, she did get that.
Yeah, I got it. And that's the thing. It was just kind of one of those things. It was like a buy one, get one, except I had to pay for both. So, really funny story, and I'm going to try to make this so quick, but we go to get my surgery. My mom came in with me because it was during COVID times, so my dad had to wait in the car because I could only bring one person with me.
Right.
I'm like, okay, like, Simone, let's go. So we go, and like, I had asked her, I was like, do you think that they're gonna make me pee in a cup before? Like, I had this sixth sense. And my mom's like, no, you're getting surgery. You're not gonna pee in a cup. I'm like, great. So I pee right before. Get to the place. We check in, and the nurse goes and puts a cup on the table, and I'm like, looking at that cup like, it's not for me. Because it also can't be for me because I am as dry as possible.
Dry as the Sahara Desert.
I am a desert. And she goes, we're going to make sure that you're not pregnant and have you pee in the cup. And I'm like, can't. So
can you say my word for it?
I was like, trust me, I'm not. So we're in the waiting room and they're like, just go pee. And I'm like, I literally cannot, because you can't drink water or eat before surgery. So I'm like, there's nothing in me left. So it's just me going in. I get in there and they're like, were you able to like pee in the cup? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, well, we can't have surgery until you do it. And I'm like, how much time do you have? So then I start panicking.
Yeah.
No one can pee when they're panicking, okay? It's not.
Yeah,
it's as tight as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to help you out here, but like, there's nothing I can do. So they're like, okay, we're gonna put an IV in you and like do the drip and everything. And this one nurse, her name's Robin. She works with my surgeon. She came in and she tells me that she was bullied her whole life and also got a nose job, and it was the best decision. She was so amazing. Aww. And she's like, and I told her, I'm like, listen, I have to pee in this cup and I literally cannot produce any urine. I know. I was like, do you want to be a bro and help me out? So she like increased my little IV drip, and she's like, just try. So later, I'm still sitting there with no desire, and I'm like, listen, if I can't do it, what happens? And they're like, we're gonna have to put a catheter in you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm scared.
Like, okay. It's game time.
Okay, I will try so hard. But the more panicked I got, the more I couldn't. It was the most traumatizing experience.
Oh my God.
Anyway, finally, miracle happens. I pee. I'm not pregnant. Congratulations to me.
You also had some problems the night before because you had to take that earring
Holy
out.
shit! I forgot. So we got our ears pierced together like
not that long before.
2 weeks before. Something stupid. And then they told me you have to take all the metal out of your body, obviously. And I'm like, okay. So I go to take whatever piercing
and it's
out.
also like it's a rook, so it's like difficult to even get to. Like even if you're not panicking or whatever, and it's not like just started healing.
Yeah.
Like it's difficult to get to.
So then I have to take this fucking piercing out of my ear the night before, and I'm like, I can do it. Like, stop panicking. Don't be a bitch. You got this.
Just an earring.
It's just an earring. Go to take it out. I can't even get a good grip. And I'm like, okay. By the way, surgery's at whatever god-awful time in the morning. It's 10 p.m. and I'm texting her and I'm like, listen, problem, I can't get it out.
What way? Once I get a grip on it, what way do I turn it? I'm like, I don't
know.
One knew. Lefty loosey, righty-tighty.
I searched so many videos on YouTube. I got pliers. I got like so many tools and I couldn't get this thing out. I'm like, what do I do? Got it out at like 11 p.m. I go to bed, wake up at like 6, can't pee. It was a little traumatizing.
But we came out on the other end.
We came out great. Same kind of thing happened to you. I get wheeled into the little room. I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at all this stuff. There's all these people talking about things. There's bright lights and I'm like, I'm kind of scared right now.
If I had been older, maybe, but like I had no fear at 16.
God, to be 16. I was a little
It also
scared.
wasn't my face, you know?
Yeah, that was my biggest fear.
It also wasn't my face.
I can't hide this.
Yeah.
So whatever, we went in, but I was also like, yo, I'm fucking excited. Like, let's do this thing.
Definitely.
Wake up, and my biggest concern was, can my mom come in? Because homie needs to check my face. So she comes in, I was like,
but she couldn't really see anything.
No, it was all wrapped up. I'm like, Mom, how amazing do I look? She's like, you look great. I'm like, I know. And the nurse was like, yo. The nurse was like, you look amazing. I'm like, I know.
Oh my God.
And she's like, I can't wait to see your photos, blah, 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 whatever. Robin connected with me on an emotional level. Like, her and I are now friends on Instagram.
Oh.
We're tight.
Wow.
Love her. She's awesome. And so the healing process begins, and I'm very excited. I can't wait to take the bandage off. So some people get like some kind of like cast.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna have.
Yeah, I didn't. My doctor doesn't like that way, so I just kind of got taped down to like hold everything down, because you have to like peel the skin off to then break the bone on both sides. It's a process. But so I'm on pain medication, all this stuff, and the funny thing is typically the nose hurts a little bit and your chin is like, next day you're good. Because everything in my life is difficult, my chin was hurting so bad. My nose was a fucking breeze.
It seems so backward.
I know. I was even explaining it to my doctor, and he's like, no.
Like, it's just an implant
It's
versus like literally like shaving
breaking
bone
my
off.
bone on both sides. My nose was a breeze.
So weird.
So whatever, take that as you will. But and then I remember, and I'll show photos, but it gets to like, I don't know how many days, and I'm looking at my face. I get my like tape off or something like that, and I'm looking at my face, and my lips are so swollen, and the top lip was like kind of coming up a little bit, but not in a cute way. And I would look at myself in the mirror every day and be like, if this is what my lip looks like, I'm upset. I think it was day 3 or 4 where I was like clinically depressed.
I remember you said something, and I knew that you were like, I can't remember what you said, but I was like, it will get better. And so soon after, you're gonna be fine.
I think you were like, how are you feeling? I'm like, honestly, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, it was something like that. And it's like, I keep looking at my face, and it's like, right now it's just so huge and swollen.
It was so, I'm gonna show photos in this, but like, it was so ugly, and I'm like, oh my god, I made it worse. So anyway, time heals, everything looks great.
You didn't look at it.
I don't want to brag, but like...
The strongest chin in the game.
The only scarring, so basically the way that they put like stitches and everything, I should technically have a scar here. That scar is pretty much gone. The one on my chin was supposed to heal a lot better. It kind of didn't.
But it's in a place that no one could ever see.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone will even see this, but it's like right here. You can kind of feel it. It's like a little bumpy. So that's my only thing. A little bumpy. But, I mean, I'm having a great time. I think it's worth it.
Yeah. It's the best thing we both ever have done for ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. I posted about it, like, immediately after. I was like, check out my new face.
That's the difference between mine was a secret for, like, I even had, so, I got it done somewhere around Thanksgiving. So, like, October comes, and I go to this costume party. And what I'm wearing, I'm just...
With your new tits.
Busting out.
Yes!
And this older, she was, I guess, a senior. And, I mean, I am just the shyest. I'm already shy, but, like, at the time.
You were just...
painfully shy. Which is one of the reasons I didn't want anyone to know. So she comes up to me, and, like, I always kind of thought she was a little bit, like, bitchy. And I was kind of scared of her. And she comes up to me, and she's like, you look so good. And I was like, thanks. And she was like, did you get your boobs done? Which everyone already knew. But I was like, no. And she was like, okay, well, they look great. And I was like,
I've been eating a lot of cornbread.
Well, she knew I hadn't done it,
obviously.
I mean, it was, in the outfit, it was so obvious.
Oh, no.
But I was like, well, I was thinking of that today when I was, like, thinking about everything I wanted to say. And I was like, that was such a nice thing. Like, you know, like, she didn't pressure me. She was just like, they look really good. And I was like,
that is nice.
Yeah. Like, she asked, and I was like, no. And she's like, all right, well, they look great.
She's like, so you got them done.
Yeah, it was looking at me in the outfit, it was painfully obvious.
Yeah.
And I had, like, the biggest push-up bra you could possibly have.
Yeah, you were like, look, but don't.
It was like a Dorothy outfit from Wizard of Oz, and it was just, I was busting out.
Amazing.
But yeah, I just remember that. I was like, I tried to keep mine a secret for the longest time. She was very open about hers.
Oh my god, I posted about it. I was like, yo, check out my new nose.
Yeah. Like, I did something.
Sure did. Paid for it. You better appreciate it. Someone said, like, I forgot we were playing, like, a drinking game, and they said something like, what's the one thing... I don't remember, like, one thing you want everyone to know about you or something like that. And I was like, my nose. I fucking paid so much for it.
Do you ever forget, like, that you've had it?
No.
I mean, it's so recent. She's not here so recent. But, like, I don't think about it until, like, ever. Yeah. Until, like, you know, someone says something about it. Or I had to get a mammogram done one time.
Oh, how's that?
I think with real boobs, it's not, I mean, it's probably uncomfortable.
I heard it's painful in general, though.
One of the most painful things I've ever had.
Oh, man.
They had to, so you have it's on a table.
Yeah, you just squish your boob in there.
But they had to move the implant out of the way. If you can imagine. It hurt. Like, I was, like, and, like, it seemed like it was taking forever. And I was, like, about to cry. And I, like, don't let myself cry in public. But, like, that hurt. That hurt. I don't know how it is for, like, normal.
I heard it hurts for normal. Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, that was very painful.
Being a woman is just not a good time.
It's really not. And I feel like some of it's I know it's all for our health, but I'm like, men, they have to get one prostate exam when they're like 50.
Cough. Come on.
Stick your finger at my butt any day of the week. I would rather. I mean, honestly, wouldn't you not trade?
Any day of the week.
I would trade that for the periods, for, all the stuff. I don't like having to go to the gynecologist. At least it's just a finger for them. For us, it's that giant clay thing.
You know what? We have to make an episode about my IUD.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to make an episode about birth control.
Yeah, we have a lot to say.
We have so much to say. Well, we'll wrap this one up because we went in tangents. We took you on a ride. But I hope you guys appreciate it. And I think like a common theme about this is that we were so happy with what we got done. And we feel so much more confident.
Just do it.
Do it. I mean, be smart about it, you know, like if you want something that's kind of bothering you but isn't like a big deal, like I would say wait it out and see if it's something that you really want, but it's an investment and like...
Yeah, and we were both way happier afterwards.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like I said, I feel like it's changed both of our lives. Like even though it's like seems like a small thing, like it's her face.
I look at this all the time.
Mine may not have like changed my life because it doesn't necessarily like change anyone's first impressions of me, but just I guess my confidence is the most thing.
For sure. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We can talk more about it. We can talk about other stuff that we've gotten done, like little cosmetic things here and there. Yeah. But
stuff we want.
Stuff we still want. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And next episode is gonna be really fun.
It's actually fun.
It's really fun.
Should we tell them?
Yeah, give a little teaser.
I'll be really quick, but we're gonna test each other's knowledge of the Urban Dictionary.
Which is gonna be 0, so...
Yeah, so we don't know what the other one's gonna say. We have to guess.
I'm so excited.
And we just want to give you a couple of our favorite apps right now. I have some that I think a lot of people... I could be totally wrong, but I feel like some people may not know about. We'll see. But
I have an app that will literally save your life.
Oh, we all do that.
And I feel like that's a big statement, but I stand behind it 110%.
Well, that's important. So yeah, we're going to go through all that next time, and we'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.